Well, there was a battle in CoinDesk's tweet story, I guess you could say, on this Binance seeks investments from sovereign wealth fund story that came out earlier this morning, where Elon Musk responded to the CoinDesk story, criticizing CZ Changpeng Zhao, the CEO of Binance, for their failed running of the Dogecoin wallet. So what we saw here in this tweet thread is that Elon Musk kind of nitpicked at CZ for Doge customer support and how the Doge wallet is not allowing payouts of Dogecoin currently just because of some development issues. And CZ shot right back telling him, hey, we have issues, but have you checked out Tesla software? It's not working too great either. So it's pretty hilarious to see like this interchange this morning between these two huge accounts. Basically, the backstory is that Doge has a lot of issues and there's not a lot of developers, but there is a lot of demand to hold the token. And that's been the story all throughout this year as Doge has kind of mooned. Maybe I'm going to throw this one over to you. I don't know if you saw any of this battle in the tweet threads from the CoinDesk account.
Yeah, it's interesting because you hear a lot of that stuff coming out of Binance. I mean, we've talked on the show recently about the major shortage in developers in the space, and people are just trying to attract talent. And there are so many giant operations going on, and they just can't get the developers needed to keep things running smoothly. Binance is definitely one of those places affected, just like everyone is. And it's not just with Dogecoin. I mean, there's different things going on with so Thorchain, for example, the Rune token was initially created on Binance Chain and on the Ethereum chain before they created the native Rune token on Thorchain. And so like the Binance integration, there are a lot of issues around that at the moment because it just seems like there are a bunch of people working at Binance who aren't being paid enough and dealing with a whole lot of issues, and it's kind of a bad code base behind it all. And it seems like there's a lot going on there. So I hope that they can figure it out because honestly, Binance provides such a valuable service for the world. And like Binance Chain as well. This is a Ethereum competitor that has helped take some of the pressure away from the Ethereum ecosystem and help people who want to participate in the world of DeFi, but don't necessarily have $5 million to spend on gas fees. And so I hope that they can figure this out. And it makes me wonder, what's going on with some of the other chains as well. It just makes me worried. There's such a massive retraining of the population that needs to happen in order to keep up with the demand in this new DeFi space and this new blockchain crypto world that's been created, because there's so much potential there. But at the end of the day, you need human resources in order to fulfill the promise that blockchain technology and decentralization has. And so it's interesting across the board, just seeing this shortage and not seeing people be able to pull through with the goods. But Jen, I'll throw it to you for your take on all this.
So I may risk sounding like a dummy here, but did I read the story incorrectly? I thought that there was Doge that was incorrectly deposited into 1,600 wallets, and that's why the wallets were frozen. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's been a ton of issues with the Doge development team. I think we saw earlier this year that nodes were being overrun. And now there seems to be an issue with a recent update that pushed some Doge wallets to have incorrect amounts of Doge in them. And the Doge development team for this particular wallet is trying to figure that out. Binance is trying to figure it out. I think the Doge central core team or whatever is also trying to figure it out. It's kind of a hot mess.
So when I read CZ's response, and now that you guys have explained it, I understand that there are many different factors that go into this, but it did sound shady to Elon's defense. I mean, they're saying that the way that they maintain their Doge wallets is different than every other platform, and so why?
Well, Binance is really large, so I think that's something to take into consideration. And then also the Doge team is all over the place, I'd say. There is a core Doge developer team, but it's kind of been reinvigorated over the last few years as there's been interest in Doge. It's not something like Bitcoin Core where you have a set developer team, or the Ethereum Foundation where you have a set team that's kind of working on the processes behind the coin. I think it's very new, and so that might be part of the issue. And then also seems to be a thing between the wallet and Binance itself. So it's hard to say who's in the wrong here or what's actually going on, because again, Binance is a huge corporation. To me, the hilarious thing about this whole story was that we had the probably the two wealthiest people in the world nitpicking at each other and tweeting at each other over what amounted to a customer support ticket for a crap coin like Doge. I think that was pretty hilarious. Like CZ's probably worth about $200 billion, even though people don't really say that, but just between his equity in Binance and his own holdings of crypto. And then Elon, of course, is worth much more than that just based on his holdings in Tesla and other stocks. So like, that's the world we're living right now, where we have a CoinDesk story, and in the replies, we have Elon and CZ going at each other over customer support, which I think that's like the real headline here.
I think so. But I mean, it also brings up the question, when you're talking about Dogecoin and Elon coming out and reinvigorating it and saying, hey, this is a thing that I'm going to focus on. And it's like, why are you focusing on something that was kind of like on the out? And it's like, okay, so now we're taking resources and we're putting it towards this thing. And it makes me wonder whether there's going to come a time where there is such a shortage in developers that maybe projects start consolidating. Maybe projects and teams start joining forces. I mean, this is what happened during the tech boom. You had famous example, Peter Thiel and Elon Musk, who joined forces to create PayPal. They were like giant rivals who like hated each other, and they were both poised like it was a fight to see who would come out on top. And then there's this crash, and so they met up and they're like, hey, we're not both going to survive. Let's join forces, and PayPal came out of it. And so it's interesting to see what's going to happen in the blockchain space, if there is going to be a downturn there, if there's going to be a global economic crash, like all these kind of things, what ends up happening, and if you start to see teams consolidate. That would be an interesting turn of events there.